We on the grind, it's game time, light shine, all eyes on the line, every move, every play, we define, party lit.
You're watching Indiana Girls High School basketball tonight on the ISC Sports Network. And tonight's game brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. And Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Joined alongside the former head coach and assistant commissioner, associate commissioner of the IHSAA, Jane Schott. I'm Rick Johnston. Jane, we are just a week and a half away from the end of the regular season. Sectional draw coming up on Sunday. We have finally hit the home stretch of the 25-26 girls basketball season.
I think to a person, Rick, everyone has said how quickly the season is gone, and I agree with that. It is hard to believe that we are entering that last little bit. Everybody's doing senior nights. They're getting ready. The draw is on Sunday, so everybody will be tuned in to see what their fate is at sectional. Best time of the year, for sure.
9 seniors on the McCutcheon roster, but they're led by 3 juniors, headlined by one of the top juniors in the state. Lily Graves holds 25 Division I offers. She is worth the price of admission.
She's so smooth. She can score at all 3 levels. That's one thing that's developed for her in this offseason before she came into this season. Her three-point shooting has gotten so much better, which makes her very, very difficult to guard because she can take it to the basket. She can hit free throws. She can do a lot of very, very solid things on offense. But the thing is, that's not her whole game. She also plays a tremendous amount of defense. She's long, and that's their focus in McCutcheon.
McCutcheon's won 4 out of their last 5 games after dropping 3 in a row. That a little bit of a rough stretch just after the Christmas holiday. On the other side for Danville, under the legendary Danville alumnus Ella Collier, they're 6-15. They've lost 7 out of their last 8. They're trying to get their rhythm here in the final handful of games of the regular season.
Yeah, she's had a tough go of it because lost her leading scorer, Maddie Wethington, early on in the season. Plenty of time to try to figure out how they're going to be, but never really had a scorer like her, so that was difficult. Hate for the senior to go down. She's going to get the start tonight, but it's going to be a little bit more of a ceremonial start.
We'll take a break, come back with the starting lineups and the opening tip next here from Danville. You're watching Indiana Girls High School basketball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa, from last to fast, and wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today.
Wonderful rendition of our national anthem performed tonight by the pep band here at Danville High School. Let's introduce you to tonight's starters. First up, for the McCutcheon Mavericks, who come in 16-5 overall, first place in the Sagamore Conference. They're a half game up on Harrison in the conference standings. They're led by 21st-year head coach Jeff Canoy, and here's the starting lineup tonight. Their second leader in steals, a 5'6" senior, and wearing number 3 is Trinity Wilburn. She had 9 points in the win over number 2 in Class 2A Rensselaer Central this past Saturday. Their second leading scorer wears number 5. She is Kiera Lipscomb Allen. Then it's Chloe Finney, third in rebounds per game. She's a 5'9" senior wearing number 10. Lily Graves, 6'1" junior, wearing number 12, leading scorer, rebounder, tops and assists, steals, and 3-point makes. And the final starter, another one of the 9 seniors, Braylon Williams, averaging 3 points and 4 boards. She's a 5'9" senior. She wears number 32 tonight. On the other side for Danville, for first-year head coach Ella Collier, who was an Indiana All-Star here for the Warriors back in 2020, went on to an illustrious career at Marion and finished her college career as a Purdue Boilermaker. A 5'6" sophomore, Millie Wethington, second in assists and their top 3-point maker on the year. She wears number 4. Maddie Wethington, their leading scorer in points per game this year, was also a season ago one of their top scorers, as well as Jane mentioned off the top, tore her ACL. You can see the big brace there on her left knee. So a ceremonial start tonight for the 5'7" senior Maddie Wethington. Also starting tonight for the Warriors, number 15, Ava Walls. Number 23, Allie Gunter. She's a 5'8" senior. Second in points, third in boards, first in assists. And their leading scorer on the year is number 33, Jillian Conrad, a 5'10" sophomore, averaging almost 12 points and 5 rebounds per ball game tonight. Jane, as these two teams get ready to go, what was going through your mind in preparation-wise in these last 3 to 4 regular season games, knowing the tournament is literally right around the corner?
Well, there's a couple things. One, you want to try to peak at the right time, so just keeping it rolling if you're going good, and if you're not, trying to tweak some things to get you there. But the other piece is just staying healthy, staying smart, being sharp, getting your kids to play the way you want them to play, and then that way they feel confident going into sectional. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. The excitement, the energy is going to be there, but you got to have some belief of whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever the situation is, whether you're the underdog or the team that would be the proposed, forerunner in your sectional. You just want to have that confidence.
Chloe Finney jumps a ceremonial start here, and they're going to let Maddie Wethington take a straightaway 3, front rim. And a real nice gesture here for McCutcheon. Maddie Wethington obviously should have been a key factor this season here for Danville. She tore her ACL 5 games in. And Lily Graves answers on the other end. And now Maddie Wethington will get a very nice ovation and hugs from her teammates and the crowd here at Danville tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You hate for any kid to tear their ACL. Did it pretty early. She's had the surgery. But you also hate it for sure for a senior. So we start 2-2, which I've seen this before. I've actually had this happen when I was coaching. Unfortunately, I had a senior, same thing. And the coaches are always great about letting you do that. And now we've got the actual 5 that are playing the game out there to get it started. It's
Olive Tenery, number 11, a 5'3" freshman out there for Danville. Again, they're in the home whites, catch and shoot 3. That's Casey Hummel on the missed 3, and Graves gets caught up a little bit in the backcourt as a couple of extra subs come in here for Danville.
Well, you can see Lily Graves going up high to get that rebound. She just towers, but she also really great length.
Braylon Williams stepping out and hitting a 3, comes in just 23% on the year. But a good bounce back here on the first 3-point basket of the night. 3 on the other end, no good for Conrad. And here come the Mavericks out leaking, but that pass thrown a little bit behind. Picked up off the floor by Kiera Lipscomb Allen.
Well, you talk about Braylon Williams. If anybody is considered a post player, it may be her, but they really play 5 guards, and she has the strength to guard somebody inside, but you look at her and she can shoot it as well.
4-year starter, jumping to passing lane. Here's Chloe Finney. 5 seniors starting tonight for McCutcheon, and a nice move in there for Finney for 2.
Yeah, this is one thing. Their pressure is going to bother this young, inexperienced Danville team, and you can see right away the turnovers are mounting.
Graves steals up to Lipscomb Allen, and she lays it in. And after that 2-2 start, it has been all McCutcheon as they quickly go on a 9-0 spurt. Other thing to keep our eyes on tonight, Lily Graves just 3 points away from setting the new all-time scoring mark at McCutcheon High School. Steal here for Wilburn. Has trailers, a little fake, and a lay-in second bucket of the night here for Trinity Wilburn. Timeout here for Danville as it's been all Mavericks for 21st year head coach Jeff Canoy. You had a lot of battles back in the day during your coaching time up in the Lafayette area against Jeff.
Yeah,
we nice to talk to him earlier today.
It was great. He's terrific. You know, he's been one of those long-time coaches. He's had very good teams. He's had very good players. We started in that area pretty much at the same time, so it was just really fun because he's a great guy. He's all about girls basketball and has been for his entire coaching career, and happy to see him have such a terrific impact player because I know he's enjoying it.
And we mentioned off the top, Lily Graves, 25 Division I offers. They just keep coming in. The schools keep getting bigger and bigger on the lines of Auburn, Virginia Tech, Rutgers, Florida, Purdue, Indiana, Miami, Providence, then a whole bunch of folks from the mid-major level. So if you have a Division I basketball program and you're a fan of them, pretty good bet that they know who Lily Graves is.
For sure, and she was that way through junior high, and not only is she a terrific player, but she's just a great person, so she's got great disposition on the floor.
Stop and pop from Gunter, and she floats it in for the second field goal of the night here for Danville. Again, Graves just 3 points away from sitting in that McCutcheon new all-time scoring mark. Nice feed in from Williams into Lipscomb Allen for the take.
Well, this is one thing about this McCutcheon team. They are very balanced and get scoring from many places.
Reaching there on Finney. In our conversation earlier today with Coach Canoy, we asked him, you know, you've played a lot of tournaments this year, more than you kind of would normally see. Obviously, you have the county tournament and some holiday tournaments, but they've gone up and down the state. They've also they went and played Valparaiso, one of the top teams in the state, on a Tuesday night last week. And he said, well, 2 reasons. One, we want to get Lily's name out there. No Miss Basketball's coming up a year from now. But also, he said, we need to get ready for that semi-state round. We're going to have to play 2 games in a day.
Well, 2 games in a day, and also just playing different players or teams throughout the state is really important for your team.
Wilburn, electrifying speed. She's got 6 early points, all on layups to the rim, and she's really improved her scoring in the last 10 games for the Mavericks.
She's somebody who's suffered knee injuries herself the last 2 years, and so she's probably just now hitting her stride.
Started her high school career at Faith Christian, where she averaged 20 points per game. As Jane mentioned, sophomore and junior years plagued with those ACL injuries, so to see her come back and be as explosive as she is really, really impressive.
Well, one of the things that Danville needs to do is they've got to handle this pressure, and I feel like they're just getting sped up. If they could use some pass fakes and do a little bit better job of, you know, moving the basketball without dribbling into traps or throwing into, you know, outstretched hands, they might be able to have a chance at scoring.
Abigail Creviston checking in here for Danville. Lipscomb Allen fumbles on the handoff. Inside here to Finney, puts that shoulder down, and another tough take to the rim. This one nicely contested, but Finney able to finish.
Well, Finney's been a starter for them since she came onto the scene, and you know, before the rest of this junior and senior class came along, she was holding it down for the Mavericks.
Graves lays it in. That ties her with Lakin Hasser-Smith for the most points ever scored by a McCutcheon girls basketball player. She and Lakin each with 1,416 points. Next one puts Graves all atop that list by herself.
I don't think they're going to celebrate that tonight. They're going to wait till the home game when they have a chance to celebrate her.
And they'll get it right there as that breaks the all-time scoring mark. An and one opportunity here for Lily Graves on a wonderful pass forward. And check it out here on the replay. Feeding it up was Lipscomb Allen.
Just a terrific player. She's gets the advantage of playing with a really nice team. They're very, very solid, and you can see they're going to bring some subs in, so they've got some depth as well.
We mentioned it off the top. One of the big things for Lily that's improved in the last couple of years has been her ability to shoot the basketball. Has really jumped up her three-point shooting percentages at 31% on the year. Last year was just 15%.
Yeah, she's somebody that I know has worked on it over the, because that's one thing that you would expect her to be counted on at the next level as well as this one, is to develop that portion of her game.
Basket there for Danville. And an offensive foul whistled here against Trinity Wilburn, moving away from the ball. First one against McCutcheon here tonight.
I think there's a little bit of confusion. I actually asked Coach
Yeah.
Kanoy about how many does
How
she
many
need?
she need?
He was sticking to the need 7 to tie and 8 to break it. And
that's what I'll go with.
And somebody down in front of us just cheered when you called it. So at this point, all I know is she's going to break the
Right.
record. We know that. So
Well, I'm
we'll
glad-
let them figure out the details.
I'm glad I'm not alone and the only one that was trying to do math earlier
Yeah.
and figuring out, going, okay,
Right.
this is here and that's
Right.
there and da-da-da.
Yeah. Yep. That's well, I
I said
think
it was kind of a subdued reaction when she
well,
laid
that's
it in.
why.
Right, yeah.
That's why, because I think some, and I thought the same thing. I was like, well, maybe it is 7 or 8. But you said you did the math, so I was like, well, maybe, I don't know. At this point, we'll see if she gets a shot here, which she didn't get it to go down. I was like, I think they're waiting on that, everybody,
Yeah.
to make sure she definitely gets it through.
No questions asked there.
Yeah.
No matter what record book you're looking at, or
Yeah.
I had to use both my fingers and my toes to count up how many points she needed tonight. So I could have missed a digit somewhere in there for sure.
That's funny.
McCutcheon 4 fouls here early on in our opening quarter, but their offense has been absolutely electric.
They're generating a lot of that offense off their defense, and that's what they do. They want to get out, turn you over so they can get down the floor. But that'll help.
Conrad rainbowing in that 3, comes in 36% from out there on the year. And there it is, record breaker for Lily Graves, the all-time leading scorer in McCutcheon history.
And as funny as it might seem, Rick, it's the same thing that she just did a moment ago when we thought she broke it. So a lot of her shots are going to be very similar.
Runs the floor here, head fake, got the defender to fly by, and just keeping adding to that total is the wonderfully talented Lily Graves, up with 11 here early on with 2 to go in our first quarter.
Yeah, they just really getting in the passing lanes. Their defense, they do a great job of anticipating.
She wasn't looking at us, by the way.
She was not. I don't think she wants the attention. She's a humble kid, and and also I can imagine sometimes as a player, you just want that to be over so you can go on and just play.
Emma Wyckoff subs in, shuffles her feet on the take there. She looked right up to her family section and said, let's cut it off. We just happened to be situated behind them, so it looked like we were in the line of sight.
We do.
It's been all McCutcheon here to start. Their defense has led to a lot of fast break layups, but Conrad trying to keep Danville within striking distance. She scored 5 in a row here for the home team.
Yeah, she's a good scorer for them. She finds a way to get 12 points a game, and you can tell she had a little bit more around her in terms of the scoring that they really needed. We talked about Wethington being gone. I think that would help.
Maria Gibson on a nice cut, coming off of a 5.6 rebound performance last time out. Aubrey Miller with the steal. The block-to-block pass. Wyckoff throws it up and fought for and saved on the baseline. Keep it here. Turnaround shooting. Lipscomb Allen's 3 just a little bit off the mark. And the rebound is Ava Walls is underneath. And a held ball. Possession arrow. Good defense there by McCutcheon. We'll keep it here with the Mavericks. Minute left to go here in our opening quarter. For just joining us, Lily Graves has set the all-time scoring mark at McCutcheon. And to the free throw line will go Amaria Gibson.
Well, one of the advantages you have if you're McCutcheon is all these seniors, these veterans, they've been running his stuff, his sets, his plays, his offense, his defense for quite some time. And you can see they kind of look pretty machine-like out there. The other piece of it is, and this starts with your leader. Lily Graves, we just talked about how humble she was. She isn't demanding the ball. She's playing within an offense. Whenever your star can act like that, everybody else, it just helps the team atmosphere. You can tell that's what they have.
Both free throws down the hatch there for Gibson, shooting 71% on the year. Second best free throw shooting percentage for McCutcheon.
Yeah, what a luxury to bring a kid like that off the bench.
She would normally start for a lot of different teams. Conrad, though, providing the scoring punch, has over half of the Danville points with 7 here in the first. Gibson attacks, and she finishes with a nice scoop.
Yep, she has scored their last 6 points. Once she came into the game, it's been the Amari Gibson show.
Pass deflected and stolen here by Finney. Another steal from McCutcheon here in the opening quarter. Finney, patient move. Shot got blocked out of bounds. It'll be an inbound here for the Mavs with 26.3 seconds left to go in the first. Lipscomb Allen struggled with her shooting touch since the Christmas break as she inbounded on the baseline. And a tie up here. Nice defense by Olive Tenery. Gets it back to Danville with less than 24 to go here in the first.
Notice one of the things you'll see is McCutcheon switching things up quite a bit. Now they're in a 2-3 trap. They're running, chasing up there, see if they can get a steal. So just kind of, you have to work on things. And, you know, first half is fair game even though your team's up by 21. So right now this is good for Danville having to deal with this kind of pressure.
Tenery open for a wing 3, just a whisker short. Tapped around, Conrad couldn't get it, and Lipscomb Allen tried to throw it forward, but our first quarter clock expires. All McCutcheon, and congratulations to their superstar Lily Graves, the new all-time leading scorer in the history of McCutcheon girls basketball, as the Mavericks lead by 21 after 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Tonight's game brought to you by Endeavor Communications. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning playing connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Just saw first-year head coach Ella Collier, all-time leading scorer in the history of Marian University, 2-time NAI National Player of the Year, and a really interesting nugget after she got hired in an article in the Indianapolis Star at the end of last April, where she said, you know, a lot of people came up and said, whoa, do you consider yourself coaching? She said, no, but there was always the caveat, unless it's Danville. Well, her old coach stepped aside, and she has stepped in to lead her alma mater here this season. Starters back on the floor here for McCutcheon. But as you mentioned, top 2 scorers graduated from a year ago, and your top returning one, as we saw tonight, Maddie Weatherden tore her ACL 5 games in. So not the first year that Collier thought she was going to get back here at home sweet home Danville.
No, but if you look at the group that she's playing, she does play a couple of seniors, but everybody else freshmen and sophomores, and they do have one junior in Casey Hummel, but you have a good core of young kids that have gotten tremendous experience this season.
Quick hands there for Wilburn as the starters back on the floor here for McCutcheon to start the second. So that's Wilburn, Lipscomb Allen, Finney, Graves, and the aforementioned Williams, who just scored for her second bucket. Mid-range 2, rattled home for Ava Walls, one of those seniors for the Warriors.
Easy little bucket. That time they found the backside of the zone wasn't so pressure, so they were able to get an easy jump shot off.
Wide open up top, catch and shoot, just a little bit off target there from Gibson.
When you mentioned Gibson coming off the bench, she averages nearly 11 points per game. She used to start, but I think one of the things you see is she comes off the bench, she's out there and has more scoring opportunities because the other 4 starters have taken a seat in getting their rest.
She's provided a really nice spark. Slipped a little bit defensively, he's popped back up, and she'll get called for a block over there in the corner. That's her first foul of the night. Gibson, the junior, but had a stellar freshman season, led the JV team to an undefeated year 2 years ago, and has taken that success over here to the varsity level for 16-5 McCutcheon.
You know, one aspect, she's a great rebounder. She plays really hard on both ends of the floor. If she can get that 3-point shooting to get up in the 30%, she would be a very, very effective scorer from the outside.
Graves deflected that pass. Wilburn able to pick it up in stride and scoop it up. Graves took a hard fall, but she pops back to her feet. Wilburn with a steal, and she is just shot out of a cannon to the other end, and she's in double figures with 10.
Well, you can see the press that they're putting on is kind of a, looks a little bit like a 2-1-2, but those two backs will come up and really get in that passing lane. They let Wilburn and Graves up top pressure enough so it's hard to make that next pass.
13 for Graves. Turnover there helped by Aubrey Miller, 14 in black. We talked about ACL injuries. Well, Miller tore her ACL this past August and just came back recently. Coach told us she's on a pitch count, 3 to 4 minutes a quarter, but to see her back out here playing in her senior season, which thought to have been lost 4 months ago, is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's it. That's a quick return for sure.
Loose ball foul called against Ava Walls. Good box out by Williams underneath off the Tenery three-point opportunity. Tonight's game is brought to you by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. With a dedicated Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent like Nathan Begley to help guide you through the insurance process, you'll never have to go it alone. Talk to Nathan in person, online, or over the phone at 317-507-7871. Or stop by his office at 9821 East US Highway 36 in Avon. Nathan Begley and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, let's insurance together.
Danville staying in their man-to-man defense. That time they were able to plug up the drive and get the jump ball.
Kiera Lipscomb-Allen returns for McCutcheon as Aubrey Miller has maybe seen her minutes limit touched here in this second quarter. And if you're McCutcheon, you've led from the jump the entire way here outside of the ceremonial 2 points from either side to start this ball game off. If you're the coaching staff for the Mavericks, what are you stretching right now as the mid-range jump shot goes for Millie Wellington?
They just saw a 1-3-1 half-court trap. You work on some things. The other thing is, especially if you have a lot of different defenses or whatever, you might just kind of show it. So if people are getting film, they have to prepare for a lot of things, and that's difficult to do.
Lipscomb-Allen stops on a dime. Her pass deflected high into the air. Stolen here by McCutcheon, keeping it is Finney. And off the backboard, picked up by Danville, and pushing the issue the other way is Abigail Creviston.
Creviston, one of those sophomores, can tell they just have a little bit more development to do.
Back rim, picked up off the floor. Another offensive rebound here for Danville. Putting her nose in there was the senior Gunter.
Yeah.
Number 1 on McCutcheon's Braylon Williams. As senior Marley Dale coming in, Coach Jeff Canoy told us, she only averages about 2 points and 3 rebounds per game, but brings that 4-year varsity experience, has been a real key rebounder off the bench for McCutcheon as of late.
And she's pretty gritty, so she'll get in there and mix it up. She plays good defense, a good communicator. It's one of those kids that does all the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet.
Conrad flings it cross court. Creviston gives way to Millie Wellington.
McCutcheon back in their 2-3 zone right now. Danville needs to move the basketball. It's sticking too long. You got to move it. You got to get the zone shifting a little bit, finding some gaps. If they can get it moving around a little, you can make that defense have to shift. But right now, it's just too easy to guard.
Wellington, the sophomore, trying to direct traffic. Conrad from way outside. Dives off the back of the rim. Rebound almost taken away from Dale. Throws it into traffic with Graves, and it's last touch by the Danville defense.
Good effort by Danville that time. Almost got the offensive rebound. The biggest thing you want to see from your team if you're Danville, is just they're still playing hard. You don't want to give in. It's hard when you're down by quite a few points. You give in to that feeling, but you got to keep working on both ends of the floor.
Graves, mid-range right side, a little bit off balance.
A little isolation play for her to come off and get a handoff, and they read it pretty well.
Lipscomb-Allen deflects the pass, picked up by Wilburn, and then McCutcheon has their pass intercepted as Conrad threw a paw in the air. Loose ball picked up. Gunter goes diving in, but can't get the layup. Kiera Lipscomb-Allen flips it forward, and she led Wilburn too much, and it goes out of bounds.
It's a good idea, but they were getting too deep. She needed to put a little touch on that pass so that it maybe kind of floated under her hands.
Subs coming in here for both sides tonight. McCutcheon winners of 4 out of their last 5 after dropping 3 in a row back at the end of December.
Sometimes those stretches, tough on a ball club, but the best thing you need, I talked earlier about you don't want to peak too early. If you go through that stretch early enough, you can kind of get out of it. Teams that go through a rough stretch late in the season, you're still trying to figure it out as you go into the tournament. That's tough to do.
Conrad a little bit short. She and Graves fighting for the rebound. Keep it here with Danville. And then we mentioned McCutcheon went up on a Tuesday night, to go play a really, really good Valparaiso team that we saw, back at the end of December. But they just went up and played the second-ranked team in Class 2A, Rensselaer Central, on the road Saturday. They won by 6. So McCutcheon trying to find different ways to test themselves before sectional play gets here in about 2 weeks.
Rensselaer are a very physical team, and so they play a brand of basketball. The officials let them play, which I heard they did. Then you have to adjust to that, and that was good for McCutcheon to have to do.
Conrad trying to will Danville back into this one. Gunter was a little bit off target, trying to get the putback in. Graves, nice find.
Yep, she can deliver the basketball. She brings it down right off the rebound. That's tough to guard, but a terrific job by Dale to hustle down the floor to get the easy one.
Catch and shoot, Wethington 3, and she rattles it in from straight away.
Something that is probably really great to see for Coach Ella Collier, seeing those young kids starting to fill up the scoring column a little bit.
Wellington is their leader in three-point makes, now with 12 on the year, has 5 of the 20 so far here for the Warriors. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Graves with 14 points. Let that free throw just a little bit short. A couple articles up in the Lafayette area have described he's been able to change that shooting motion and been a little more flat like that free throw was. Has gotten a little bit more arc on it the last couple of years. She gets the steal, and a breakaway layup is home for 2.
I have them for 46 points, but I think I missed a point somewhere.
But we already know my math is out the window, so I'm not even going to try to tell you what I have.
We're just going to go with whatever the score.
The board says.
The guy that's been keeping the, no one seems to be arguing, so.
To finish that thought on the Graves shooting improvement, she worked with the same shooting coach that Miss Basketball from last year, Maya Makaleski, who's now starring at IU, got. Is look at the handles, and a little mid-range falls off there for Graves, and obviously her scoring numbers are what draw everybody's eyes. But she's an excellent rebounder, and as we've seen tonight, she's a really, really impressive facilitator, too.
Yeah, she's one of those stat stuffers because she does a little bit of everything. Makes her tough to guard. She can grab the rebound and take off. 16 points a game, but also nearly 7 rebounds, 5.6 assists a game, 3.5 steals, so she's doing a little bit of everything.
Here's that 3, short. She and Wilburn track down her own miss, and it stays here with the Mavericks.
We always talk about your leading scorer should, if things go well, lead you an assist as well, because that means they're trying to stop you and cover you up, and you just distribute.
Wellington trying to find another 3, a little bit off the back heel. Hummel couldn't go back up. Good defense right there on the rebound by Gibson. Conrad was 7 of the 20 to lead Danville here so far this first half. That has less than a minute to play. Baseline, Hummel looking for help, got deflected. When you have 2 speedsters up top there in Wilburn and Lipscomb Allen, good luck for your guards trying to get that ball moving around the arc.
And then that pressure makes it so that those passes that they're trying to make down to the baseline or to the wing are difficult to see where the openings are.
Conrad in the corner here for the Warriors. Pass got deflected. Back outside. Hummel a catch and shoot. Gibson turns with 29 seconds left. Lipscomb Allen leaking forward. Tried to save it, and Conrad was right there for the steal.
Good hustle by Danville to get back. That's one thing I think they could do a little bit better job of being transition defense.
Nice transition three there for Jillian Conrad, her second triple here of the ball game so far. And McCutcheon going to hold for the final shot, up 24 with 7 ticks of the clock left. Graves pops free, wing three, splash for Lily Graves. 19 in the first half for the Stellar Junior, and a 50-point first half here for McCutcheon. They're one of the top teams when it comes to scoring average in the state, and they flex their offensive muscles here in the first half.
Yep, they did it off of their defense. I didn't keep track of turnovers, but I know Danville's probably in double digits turnovers, and that's the key.
We'll take a break, come back with our halftime show at recess here from Danville. It's all McCutcheon as they lead the Warriors 50-23. You're watching Indiana Girls High School basketball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Back here at Danville High School, McCutcheon on top by 27 points, leading Danville 50-23. And it was a first quarter that saw McCutcheon lead 34-13. And Jane, what are your thoughts on the first half? Obviously, McCutcheon really showing why they're one of the top teams in Class 4A this year.
Well, the only thing, the one time that Danville got to lead in the game was when they got to score first. They allowed a kid that's had an ACL, they go up 2-0, but then from there on out, it was all McCutcheon. And they just really did a great job with their defensive pressure. I think Danville has to get some strategies to try to break that. I'm not sure they have the guard play to do it, but I think one of the things that they'll probably talk about at the halftime is using some pass fakes and trying to be a little more secure with the ball. They did a better job in the second half with that. A couple shots started to fall, but overall it's just been all McCutcheon.
Lily Graves, obviously the story of that first half, 19 points. She is now the new all-time leading scorer in McCutcheon history, breaking the record set by Lakin Hassersmith a number of years ago. But there was a lot of different folks from McCutcheon. Wilburn had 10. You had 4 from Lipscomb Allen. You had 6 off the bench for Gibson, 5 for Williams, and 2 for Dale in a reserve role. So McCutcheon really showing they're not just Lily Graves, who's fantastic, and she can take them very far, but they've got a lot of nice pieces alongside of her as well.
Yeah, good balance for the Mavericks, and they've been doing that all year long. You look at their double-figure scorers. They have 3 in double figures that are, ability to fill it up, as well as others that contribute along the way. So that depth, he's running them in and out, so they get to play hard when they're in there, and so they'll be a tournament team for sure.
On the other side for Danville, they come in losers of 7 of their last 8 and 10 of their last 12. I was really impressed with what Jillian Conrad, the sophomore, showed in that first half for Danville. She knocked down a couple of threes, led them with 10 points, had a really nice inside-outside game for the Warriors.
Yeah, Jillian Conrad is somebody that can help and build on her. That's the one thing. She is a sophomore, so good to see her. 12 points a game, and she has about 5 rebounds, so it's good to see her step up in a game like this and play against good competition and still find a way to score the basketball.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. When we come back, we'll take a look at our halftime highlights. All McCutcheon here at the break on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash. stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Back here with the Junior Cheerleaders halftime show here for Danville as their Warriors trail McCutcheon 50-23 here at half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights tonight here on the ISC Sports Network. And after the ceremonial 2-point shots for Maddie Wethington, whose year sadly came to a close with that ACL injury for Danville 5 games in, it was all Mavericks. They got out and ran a lot thanks to the turnovers.
Well, 4 scores, 4 different scorers for the Mavericks, and that was the story of the first half. They shared the ball extremely well. They got out in transition because their defense generated that offense. But a few responses from Danville. Good to see, as we said, they didn't stop playing. They just got to find a way to score the ball a little easier.
Gunther, the senior, put that in for 2 points there, but just too much. McCutcheon, we mentioned 2 players in double figures. There's Graves with 2 of her game-high 19, and then this was off an incredible pass from about 3/4 of the way down the floor.
She got the and-one opportunity. Good response from the Warriors that time, and as we said, Jillian Conrad from the outside and Wethington from the outside kept them in it just a little bit.
Graves, a 6'1 junior, taking it to the rack there. Nice stop. A little blow by there for 2 more of her 19, but there's Conrad again. Saw a couple threes, but also took it inside as well. So some good work from the elbow.
Yeah, as we said, only a sophomore, so she's got some good years ahead.
There's the lone 3 for Graves in that first half. The Danville band entertaining the fans here at halftime. Take a break and come back and get you ready for the second half of action here from Danville High School. McCutcheon on top by 27 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Back here at Danville High School, both teams back on the floor getting ready to start our second half of play here tonight. Again, as we mentioned, we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season. McCutcheon after tonight has 2 more games left. They'll have their senior day this Saturday when Western's in town. Then they're at West Lafayette to round out the regular season a week from tonight. Danville has just 2 games left. They're off for the next 9 days before they take on the Broncos of Lafayette Jeff in their regular season finale. Well, as you mentioned, Jane also one of the assistant commissioners at the IHSAA, so you guys are full steam ahead getting ready for the girls basketball tournament. What can fans expect, particularly with that sectional draw hosted by Greg Rakestraw coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, tournament time. We just had our state finals for girls wrestling last Friday, so that kicks off our winter state series, and one of the things we're looking forward to with the girls basketball is, the tournament will be drawn on Sunday. All the teams get together. They want to see what their fate is and who they're going to play. And then the following week, that first full week, February 2nd is when we get going. That week of in February, we will tip it off with all of our sectionals, 64 sectionals throughout the state, really exciting time, not only for players, obviously for families and everybody, communities, but also our officials. You know, they kind of really look forward to tournament time. It's what they work for all year long. They're just as excited to see what their assignments are and where they're going to be assigned to go officiate. So just a great time of the year. I mean, obviously it's exciting for players, and they you know, get the opportunity to play in that tournament. Tournament atmosphere is always fun.
Last year, obviously a big year, the 50th girls basketball state tournament, and year number 51 obviously shaping up to be really, really impressive. Really quickly, you mentioned girls wrestling state championships last weekend at the Corteva Coliseum. That's one of the newer sports that's become an official varsity sport with the IHSAA, and it is just exploding.
Yeah.
Heard Greg Rakestraw talking about it on the radio last week. It is in the last, what, 2 or 3 years as a sanctioned IHSAA sport. You have participants, just everybody from top to bottom in the state participating in girls wrestling.
Yeah, the programs are growing, which is great. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the nation, and so it's not just here in Indiana, but we're seeing an opportunity for girls to compete. And one of the things that's great for them, there's been a lot of girls who were competing in the boys tournament, but now they actually have their own tournament, and it was a terrific atmosphere at the Coliseum.
Yeah, I saw a couple photos from that. It looked like a real packed house down there on the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Very fun. They, you know, one of the things that as it grows, they may outgrow that venue, but for right now, it's perfect because yes, they did not. They had a good crowd that filled it up.
You look at all the different facilities. It seems like every championship, no matter what sport, you're competing in a top-flight venue. Obviously, basketball down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, football at Lucas Oil Stadium, but a lot of things coming through the Coliseum. You have Purdue hosting the softball state championships, Victory Field, obviously, with baseball. So if you make it to the state championship of the IHSAA, you're playing at a big-time venue to bring home that state title.
We're just really fortunate to have some partners in like the Pacers and the Colts and all of and Purdue and all of the places. You know, our gymnastics is still at Ball State right now, and we're just really thankful that those places work really hard to help us put on a first-class experience for our student athletes, because that's really what it's all about. And you're right, Rick, if you get down to the state, what a great time it is.
Last thing you mentioned, all the different venues. Volleyball this year down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. You talked about women's wrestling, one of the fastest growing sports in the country and in Indiana. You look at a popularity standpoint, high school and college volleyball on the girls and women's side is just getting eyeballs across the country.
Yeah, and it was a great, you know, Ball State was our host for a long time, and they did a terrific job. It wasn't anything they did, but we wanted to get that central location for our volleyball state tournament, and that's only going to grow and grow, so it's really terrific.
Graves takes a hard fall going for the rebound. She collided with Conrad, still slow to get back up, as Waits gets that two-point basket.
Well, you hope it's just one of those collisions that kind of, she awkwardly fell. Hopefully she's going to be able to shake that one off. As we talked about, it's always the most difficult time of the year because you know, kids are going to, you want to keep them in the game to play a certain amount, but you also want to make sure they stay healthy.
Athletic trainer Matt Redmond out to take a look at Lily Graves along with McCutcheon head coach Jeff Canoy. She is sitting back up.
She's kind of touching her hip. Maybe she got just a little stinger. You know, obviously, you know, the worst thing everybody always thinks about knees and ankles, but maybe she is kind of moving her legs, so maybe not. Maybe she got jarred in a really awkward way.
Good thing as well, she was laying down there underneath the baseline, and the worst thing you can have on top of that is when you have action continuing to go and going for rebounds and everything else. So thankfully, the play on the floor kind of stayed away from her, as if almost everybody kind of made a concerted effort, I should say, as Lily helped up to her feet, obviously shaken up a little bit, but good to see her walking off under her own power, even if it's a little bit slow.
Yeah, she's putting weight on it, and she just seems to be walking it off. So could be an ankle. I'm sure the training staff will evaluate that and get her ready to go.
On a night that she became the all-time leading scorer here at McCutcheon, and promptly shut down all of her family's cheers when she exited the ball game. I have a feeling we might have seen the last of Lily Graves here tonight. Again, she has a game-high 21 points, 25 Division I offers in her pocket, and trying to lead McCutcheon back to another deep state tournament run. After last year, they won their second straight sectional title, and they picked up their first regional title for the first time in over a decade.
Yep, and they're going to have that same path. The North this year in 4A is so tough. You've got Warsaw, the defending state runner-ups that are really having a nice season. But their sectional is extremely tough. They got to get through Northridge. Up north, you also have Homestead and Norwell in the same sectional. Norwell is the defending state champion in 3A. They got bumped up because of the success factor. So those two teams will have to duke it out to get out of their sectional. So even if you get out of your sectional, what awaits you is even a tougher team maybe.
And then another team lurking there up there in the north. We mentioned them earlier. You and I saw them at the end of December. Valparaiso, they can really go. McCutcheon knows that. They saw them on a Tuesday night a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they've got a terrific scorer. She's headed to Ball State, and one of the things that we, really like about her is that she's like Lily Graves. She passes the ball. She shares the basketball. It's not all about her. She's not a black hole. She plays the game the right way.
Seen a couple of other top girls teams here in the state. We mentioned we had Pike on our air coming up on this past Saturday. They're #1 in one poll behind Warsaw in another. You and I got to see Hamilton Southeastern. Good to see KK Holman back to full strength after that lower body injury scare during that same tournament with Valparaiso. And so girls basketball has got some really high-level teams all throughout the entire state, north, south, in the middle, as Gibson will go to the line for two. So this, we mentioned it, a lot of celebratory moments last year with that 50th high school girls basketball tournament. But if you want high-level girls basketball, go to your local section. You're going to find at least 2 or 3 teams that are worth watching.
Most definitely. It's the best game in town. It's well worth your money. I think one of the things that we really love about our tournament time is, draws big crowds, very fun. I think the energy around our sectionals is just terrific. Our sectional hosts do a wonderful job of taking care of and making it a big deal and taking care of that for us, so we're really excited about the tournament.
Jane, I've been meaning to ask you, and I'm glad that Amaria Gibson got back to the line. You see her standing so far to the right on the free throw line. When you've coached players like that have a unique free throw shooting either stance or routine or motion, kind of walk us through maybe kind of some of the reasons that she stands so far to the right, being a right-handed player.
The only thing I can guess is that she feels more comfortable over there, and maybe when she was shooting straight on, she was hitting it to the left, who knows, and so she just moved over, and all of a sudden she started making it. So, it's one of those, it is a free shot. She's free to shoot it the way she wants, and as long as it goes in, as a coach, you just let it go.
And she is free to accelerate to the other end. A beautiful Euro step, and if you're bringing a player like Gibson off the bench, McCutcheon, you can see why they're one of the top teams in the biggest class in Indiana.
Yep.
Weathington's 3, short off the front rim. Good hustle there to try to save it there on the rebound by Williams, but it sticks here with Danville.
Well, if I talked about the fact that, they have 3 of their top 5 scorers in the starting 5, and you're going to naturally, you see a jump shot there by Olive Tenery, excuse me. But you naturally are going to, start to sub, and when you sub, you're subbing out people that can score. Well, guess what? America Gibson, she's going to get more shots when she comes in with fewer scorers around her, and you've seen it here tonight. That's why she's averaging in double figures as a sub off the bench.
From a coaching standpoint, from back in your days up in the Lafayette era, you don't want to do the full platoon system in and out. Some teams do that, but you do need kind of a lead dog on that bench mob group.
No question, and you got to get them to buy into it because everybody wants to start. Of course they do, but if you can get them to understand, hey, you're playing starter minutes, you're going to be in there at the end of a game, and you're going to get more opportunity in this spot. We need somebody coming off the bench.
Lily Graves back to the scores table, so she will come back in. Good to see that she's good enough to re-enter our game here tonight with 4:02 to go in the third. Attention all engaged couples, discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Just a nice little screen away. We talked about Lily Graves being a distributor. You know what else you can do really well if you're a great offensive player is be a screener. As soon as you screen, everybody's going to take their defense to you, and that's how Mary Gibson was able to be open.
She's got 13 points, 7 of them here in the quarter. She's provided the scoring punch here for McCutcheon. Conrad leading the way with a dozen here tonight for Danville.
She has really been their answer and doing a nice job of finding the basket.
This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. And a bevy of subs coming in here for both teams. With 3 and change remaining here in our third quarter.
Right now, the 33-point lead. They're nearing the time when, if they are up by 35, it becomes a running clock. Makes that 34 with that last free throw.
And once you get to that 35 plateau and then that running clock sticks in, it doesn't turn off for the rest of that second half. About the 4th or 5th different defense we've seen McCutcheon throw out here tonight. Again, trying to, like you mentioned, maybe trying to throw a little something for future opponents, whether it be sectional or the last 2 games of the regular season.
Little flat 3-2. You can see, and we talked about, you talked about the Aubrey Miller having some pitch count, so to speak. She's up, plugging up the middle. Doesn't have to move a lot, which helps maybe a little bit. She's not too far off that ACL surgery.
Yeah, got hurt that ACL back in August. Thought her season was done. Is toughing it out here as Gunter drains just her 3rd 3 of the season. This one from straight on.
Well, Gunter is somebody who also, it's great to see her step up as a senior, knowing that she needs, your season is quickly, coming to a close as your regular season. So making the most of it as a senior, get those scoring opportunities.
Gibson, who's provided a nice scoring punch here in the quarter. Lipscomb Allen turns, and she's able to cash in from the baseline. We mentioned her second season here at McCutcheon has been in a shooting slump since about Christmas, so McCutcheon would really like to see some more plays like that happen for 5 and Black.
Yeah, she had a lot of valuable minutes as a freshman at Benton Central, and they were able to win the sectional and get some very good experience for her, and then she had a family change and ended up going to McCutcheon, so has had a great career there playing alongside Lily Graves.
Has an offer from IU Kokomo. Second leading scorer and second in assists this year for the Mavericks. Also can bring the ball up. Helps take some pressure off this young lady in Graves, who just storms her way in and puts it in for points 22 and 23 tonight.
An unselfish Kira Lipscomb-Allen. She saw Graves had a clear path to the basket. She just kind of peeled off, so she didn't bring her defense, gets out of the way.
Catch and shoot 3 from Waits. But Wall's able to put it back in underneath.
Great offensive rebound, always hanging out there on the weak side. Good place to hang.
A minute to go here in quarter number 3. Again, Graves got banged up a little bit here in this third quarter. Gets on a nice cut after dishing it off to the wing.
That screen that they're cutting off of the weak side, coming from the weak side down the lane, is difficult to guard, and Danville has not solved it just yet.
Less than a minute to go here in the third. It's been all McCutcheon tonight. They try to win their second game in a row and 5th out of their last 6.
We've hit the running clock, so no matter what happens here, we're going to get the running clock in the fourth quarter.
Shot blocked down low, and McCutcheon slows it down for the final 23 seconds here of our third quarter.
You see they're going to run one of their sets. I like this because it gives you an opportunity to practice some things. You're going to wait till the right time so they can get the last shot of the quarter.
Graves off an elevator screen, long 3 is good on a nice looking shot there from Lily Graves.
Her 3-point shot, really what a great dimension to her game. Terrific elevator screen by her teammates. That was Dale and Miller closing that gap.
All McCutcheon here from Danville tonight. Graves with a game-high 28 points. We're off to the fourth quarter next here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Tonight's game is presented by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. With a dedicated Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent like Nathan Begley to help guide you through the insurance process, you'll never have to go it alone. Talk to Nathan in person, online, or over the phone at 317-507-7871 or stop by his office at 9821 East US Highway 36 in Avon. Nathan Begley and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Rick Johnston, Jane Schott back here with you. Final quarter of play on the docket here from Danville High School. As we mentioned, heading at the end of the third, we are in the running clock situation here from Danville. So once the ball goes in, it will continue to wind for the final 8 minutes here tonight. If you're Danville looking ahead to your final couple of games of the regular season after tonight, how important are these 8 minutes to spring you in to the sectional draw coming up on Sunday?
I think that's the hardest thing, especially as a young player, any player that it's difficult to look up at the score and not feel dejected, but you can't play the score. You've just got to play for what you're trying to accomplish. So you're working on your sets, you're working on your defense, you're trying to make better care of the basketball. And right now we see them staying in their man-to-man. They're doing a nice job of switching off, and they're going to get a 3-second call. You know, Lily Graves got kind of held up in the lane and maybe a little frustrated because of that the bang that she took earlier. She definitely didn't get out quickly enough.
3 of the 5 starters on the floor here to start here in Graves, Lipscomb Allen, and Finney for McCutcheon. The younger Wethington trying to dial in that three-point shot. Could not. Gunter with the offensive board.
Gunter's picked up a few offensive boards. She's been really active on the offensive end.
Makes a nice cut here. Off-balance shot off glass. Graves picks it up. Out leaking is Lipscomb Allen, and she beats Danville to the other end.
Well, as we mentioned, when you're playing McCutcheon, you may have to designate somebody to be back. As soon as the shot goes up, you're not offensive rebounding. You just take off and get back, and because they release so quickly and so easily.
Back into that 3-2 zone that McCutcheon has debuted a couple of different times tonight.
You've got long Lily Graves taking up the sidelines there, and Kiera Lipscomb Allen she's very crafty on defense. She reads the passing lanes as well, and then you got Gibson in the middle just plugging it up.
Walls able to find the soft spot in the zone for a turnaround jumper. Walls with a nice night tonight, 6 points here for Danville. The Warriors lose Kiera Lipscomb Allen, and she puts it in for another deuce. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory.
That was a good break that time by the Warriors. They got the ball in the soft side of the zone right there where it says SAC. Popped it right there. Defense was on her, so she kicked it out for an easy 3. They missed it, but that's a great shot. It's exactly what you want.
5.5 and counting here in this running clock situation in the fourth quarter. Just the third all-time meeting between these two teams in the last 25 years. And until tonight, it was the home team that had reigned supreme. Danville won 2 years ago here on this floor by 7. Last year, McCutcheon was able to eke out a 7-point win at home. That was when Lily Graves had 43 points at home.
Yeah, she filled it up that night.
17 of 31 from the floor. Also had 5 boards and she had 43 points in 28 minutes.
It's impressive.
3 skips off here from Wilburn. Good hustle there. We mentioned it earlier. That's one of the keys for Marley Dale when she comes in here for McCutcheon. Gives Wilburn an opportunity. Hard fall against a couple of other players as Gunter came colliding with Wilburn to keep it here with the Mavs.
She may have just tripped. I'm not sure what happened, but she went to her knees.
Wyckoff misses the 3. Now it's Danville pushing the issue forward with the rebounder, Gunter. Clapping forward, getting in the corner. 3 on the way is off the rim on the attempt there from Waits. But another offensive rebound here for Danville. They average about 10 per ball game, and they've been really good in that category tonight.
Yeah, I would say if you're McCutcheon, you talk about what, even in the big win, what are things you want to focus on? And he said it was going to be a key. It's going to be a key for them every night. They have the ability, but when you play that zone, sometimes it's difficult to rebound out of because you're not sure who you're blocking out. And you've seen the Warriors be able to take advantage of that tonight.
Tonight's game presented by Mulberry Telecommunications. At Mulberry Telecommunications, we're proud to sponsor tonight's high school basketball game and support the McCutcheon student athletes, coaches, and fans who make this community special. As your local telecommunications provider, we're committed to keeping our community connected on and off the court through reliable fiber optic services and hometown support. Best of luck to both teams, and thank you for allowing us to be part of a great night of basketball. For more information about our services and community involvement, please visit mintel.net. That's MINTEL.net. Or call 765-296-2885. We are proud to serve you. When we talked to Jeff Canoy today, he chuckled. He says, when we asked him, what are the keys tonight? He goes, they're the same keys every game. He goes, the girls kind of roll their eyes at me and get used to it. But you mentioned the rebounding piece. Yeah. That's been the one glaring weakness. So I don't know how many eye rolls he's going to get tomorrow when he says, ladies, we're working on rebounding today.
Well, and part of that is just we talked about if you're in a zone, there's got to be some commitment to making sure that you take care of finding somebody to box out and keeping them off the boards.
Less than 3 to play here in the fourth. Now a 2-3 zone look here for McCutcheon.
And the 2-3 is probably a little bit easier to rebound out of because you got 3 along the back line, gives you an extra rebounder. Sometimes that 3-2, you got 3 people up hop. If you can get the ball, it's a good transition defense because you already got 3 going to the basket, but you got to get the rebound first.
In your coaching days, what were some of the principles you taught your teams when trying to rebound out of either the 3-2 or the 2-3 zone?
Well, I think the hardest part is you got to, you may be in the middle of a zone, and when the shot goes up, you're going to sprint to the weak side and find somebody who's over there that isn't necessarily your person.
Take to the rim there by Abigail Crevison for her first basket tonight. And right down the lane, nice take there by the speedy Trinity Wilburn.
Yeah, she's got great quickness and can take the ball to the basket very well. Good hands and anticipates very well on defense.
McCutcheon has led from the jump tonight after the ceremonial 2 points for injured senior Maddie Wethington. Lily Graves got the 2 points to get us back to even, and since then it has been all plays like this. Steals for the Mavericks. It'll stay here with Danville, but that defensive pressure for McCutcheon has been just stifling all night.
Yeah, I'm sure Ella Collier is not going to want to look at these stats and see how many turnovers her team has, but there has been too many that have led to runouts.
Former Danville superstar, was an Indiana All-Star before COVID hit back in 2020 when she graduated from here. Her jersey hanging up, the placard hanging up on the wall. Then went on to that great 4-year career at Marion, 2-time National Player of the Year for the Knights at the NAI level, then finished for her former coach, Katie Gerald, who's the current head coach up at Purdue for her last year of college basketball. Now is in her first year here leading her alma mater.
Yeah, Ella's one of those players that, she just played hard. She just did the right thing, always in the right spot. Wasn't necessarily the most athletic person, so playing at Big Ten basketball made it tough. But at the same time, she found a way to get on the floor, and it was quite impressive.
Could really fill it up, scored over 2,400 points throughout her entire college career, and had a really, really good shot on her if opponents somehow forgot to go out and guard her.
Yeah, she could definitely stroke it from behind the arc.
Final 30 seconds of this one. McCutcheon's going to move to 17-5 on the year, go to 3-0 in the Sagamore Conference. Nice basket there for Aubrey Miller. As we mentioned, Aubrey tore her ACL in the Fall League game this year over in Lafayette. Thought her season was done, has come back here in the last couple of games and has provided a nice spark here for the Mavericks. Good to see her get that basket tonight.
She just hang out down on the baseline. The rest of her teammates are setting back screen and down screen, kind of creating some attention, and then all of a sudden she gets an easy basket.
Final score tonight is all McCutcheon as they pick up their 17th win of the year and dominate Danville tonight by a final of 80-38. We'll take a quick break, come back, and put a bow on this one. Actually, we'll keep it here. We've run through all of our breaks, so our game tonight has been brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Find out more at weendeavor.com. And Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. So a big-time win tonight here for McCutcheon. As we mentioned, they moved to 17-5 on the year, win their 5th out of their last 6. And they will get ready for the sectional draw coming up on Sunday with Danville as well. But the Mavericks really showed why they're one of the teams to look out for in Class 4A this year.
They're deep, they play hard, they're well coached, and they're a lot of fun to watch because they share the ball. So it'll be a fun fun tournament series to see how far they can go.
Last couple of games of the regular season here as the McCutcheon Mavericks come out to take a photo with Lily Graves as she set the all-time scoring record tonight here for McCutcheon. She had a game-high 28 points. And they've got the banner and a conference championship to boot here for the Sagamore Conference champs, the McCutcheon Mavericks. Let's look at that team photo to hold on to as well. They'll also honor Lily for surpassing the all-time scoring mark set by Lakin Hassersmith just a handful of years ago. Their final home game coming up this weekend. For our great crew, we say thank you for tuning in tonight, headed up by Director Vince Morales, our camera operator Buzz Alarkin. For our great analyst Jane Schott, I'm Rick Johnston saying so long from Danville High School, where McCutcheon defeats the Warrior side by a final of 80-38. You've been watching Indiana High School girls basketball on the ISC Sports Network.